Hey monkeys, it's Jim from Small Time Outlaws bringing you the second video in this using Mojo tutorial series. In this video, we'll be covering all of the primitive drawing commands, so we'll be able to draw some basic shapes and even throw some text up on the screen. And so, starting from where we left off in the last video, we're going to hop into our onRender method, and this is where all of these draw commands need to take place. And so the first thing we're going to do is actually set the color of all of our drawing commands. And the way to do that is the set color function. And just like with the CLS, it takes the RGB values, or red, green, blue values, from 0 to 255. I'm going to set up red for now. And so the first thing we're going to do is very basic, just draw a single pixel on the screen. And the way to do that is the draw point command. And then it only takes two parameters, and these are just the x and y coordinates of the pixel we want to draw. And the way x and y coordinates work in Monkey is the first one is x, and the x goes from left to right, and the y goes from the top to the bottom. So you can see if I set it to 50 by 50 or 50 comma 50, it's going to be up in the top left portion of the screen. And if I were to run this, I don't think you'll be able to see it after I do all the video stuff, but it's right there. So you can see it's over to the right 50 and down from the top 50 pixels. And the next one I'll show you is the draw a line function. And the draw a line just takes two of these XY coordinates and then draws a line in between them. So just for example, let's quickly do say 100, 100 to, we'll say 250, 200. And just so you can see what that looks like, there it is, there's our nice line. Looks great. And now let's draw some circles. We're going to draw a circle. And the way the draw a circle command works is the first two parameters are the x and y coordinates of the center of the circle, and then it takes the final parameter, third parameter, and that is the radius of the circle. So let's say we want to stick ours, let's say 50, 250 with a radius of 25. So its actual width, or its diameter, is going to be 50. So you can see what that looks like. Oh, look at that nice little circle. Okay, and the next one I'm going to show you is the draw ellipse command, and this takes four parameters. The first two are the center of the ellipse. I'm going to stick some random center, and then the second two are, well, the third parameter is the radius in the x direction, or its width, and then the fourth parameter is the height, or the radius in the y direction. So it's actually going to be 80 pixels high and 50 pixels wide. So you can see what a ellipse looks like. Oh man, look at that ellipse. Love it. Okay, and the next one I'm going to show you is the draw rect command. And the way the draw rect command works is the first two parameters are the x and y coordinates of the top left position of the rectangle. So it's not the center with this one, it's the top left. So we'll set the top left somewhere like this. And then the third and fourth are the width and the height of the rectangle. This isn't to be confused with the bottom right coordinate. It's actually the width and height. So this gets added to the x coordinate to make our final rectangle. So we're just going to make a 50 by 50 square, and so you can see what that looks like. There's our nice little square. Now the next one I'm going to show you is the final shape drawing command, and this is the draw poly. And what the draw poly command allows you to do is draw a shape with any number of sides, and what you pass into it is an array of vertices, or an array of xy coordinates, and then it draws the polygon based on where those vertices lie. So let's say we want to create a triangle. So to do that, we'll pick up the first point on our triangle. We'll say it's 400, 300. Then the next point we'll say 450, 300, and then let's say its final point is somewhere like that. And this draw poly command won't work unless you send it at least 6 floats in your float array, or 3 points. So it has to at least be a triangle. Oh, and you got to make sure these are floats. It doesn't take an int array. You got to send it floats. And there you can see there's our triangle. And so let's say I want to add another point to that, and just make it jut out a little bit. So I'll say 250.0, 325.0. So it makes a little funkier shape there. And that's it for the drawing shapes commands. Last thing I'm going to show you is how to draw some text on the screen. And to do that, we use the draw text function. And the first parameter this draw text function takes is the actual string we want to draw to the screen. And I'll just put in some random, there's some text here. And the next 2 parameters are the x and y coordinates of the text. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to center this text right in the middle of the screen. And then finally it takes 2 more parameters that are optional parameters. And these are your vertical and horizontal alignment for this text. And by default they're both 0, which puts the top left corner of this text at this point. What I want to do is center it. So the way to do that is you give it a value between 0 and 1 for the horizontal alignment. I would say 0.5, so that's going to put it right in the middle. And then if I were to do 1, that would put it all the way on the right side, so it would be right aligned. And then I'm going to do it vertically as well, so 0.5 for that. So that's going to put this text right in the center of the screen. And I'm going to run this real fast so you can see I've printed in the center of the screen. And you can see it's in red. It conforms to our set color command. Now one thing you want to remember with the draw text command is that each character in the text you draw is a separate image draw call to the renderer. So if you start drawing massive amounts of text, it's really going to bring down your rendering speed. So you should really only use this draw text to draw for like debugging information. Otherwise you'll want to use either pre-drawn full text images, or there's some other modules out there that people have created, such as Font Machine, that are good for drawing text. Okay, and that's going to do it for this video. In the next one we're going to actually start loading and drawing some images. So stick around for that one. If you have any questions about this video, you can email me at jim@smalltimeoutlaws.com or leave some comments down below. And I'll see you in the next one.